moving to a new city, struggling, being from a small town, all the time you're like, what if I run out of money? I'm going to get screwed up. I might have to pack up my 1990 Ford Explorer that's falling apart and drive back to where I grew up. All those big things were great, but that's not really what I think about daily. I think about this little company I worked for in Boston, outskirts of Boston. It was an IT training company. It was during the dot-com crash. I sat in a small 1970s office, back to back with a gentleman that's probably the age I am now. I was maybe 24 at the time. And he was doing like 60 cold calls a day with zero results. It was a miserable time. I mean, 1 million people lost their jobs during the dot-com, that year of the initial dot-com crash. It was horrible. If you're in tech, forget it. People think it's bad now. It was horrible in 2001. Yeah. So I was sitting there, I'm like, this is miserable. I was building new websites for the guy. And the guy across the street was our developer, or street, hallway, and he was our developer. And he said, hey, you ever heard of this thing called search marketing, search engine marketing? And I was like, yeah, kind of. Seems like silly stuff. What is it? And he showed me what he did at one of his other companies, getting free organic search engine listings. And he said, but there's also this other company called GoTo.com where you can pay to show up an ad on a search engine when someone searches for what you do. And I said, well, do you think we should maybe do that? What do you think about that? What is it? He goes, yeah, we should try that here. So long story, again, I can go long on things, but the condensed story is we set up all these search marketing campaigns with GoTo.com, which became Overture, and then Yahoo bought it. We started to see the phone start to ring, and business was coming in. And I'm like, everyone's always saying they're having trouble getting leads and sales. We're getting leads and sales. I think this could project to anyone as long as people are looking for what they sell. So I started to open my mind up. I couldn't sleep at night. I'm thinking all the possibilities, and on my drive to work, constantly stewing through my head. And one day Google called us and said, hey, we see that you're advertising on these other platforms. We're going to launch our own pay-per-click thing called Google AdWords. And I said, and I was in a boardroom with the owner and these other folks, and we said, yeah, we want to do it. You guys are bringing us a lot of traffic organically. Well, back then, I think it used to take 2 days once you said, turn on my ads, put in the card and everything. Well, we turned it on, and the phones in 2 days started going off the hook. I could hear them way down the hall. I'm like, what is going on? Is something wrong with the phone system? And the owner is a very dynamic guy. He comes running down the hallway, kicks this door open. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What are you guys doing? Working on the websites? Why? He said the phones are ringing off the hook, and I got to hire like 11 new people to handle the calls. What is going on? We said, well, we launched that Google thing. And he said, oh my God, all right, keep doing what you're doing. And he literally sprinting. You can hear him boom, 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 boom down the hall. So we ended up 40 cities all over the country, sending 30 people or so to a hotel conference room, training them on programming language and things like that. And that just ignited me where I was like, oh my gosh, anyone, small business, me from my house, I have an internet connection at home, I can turn this on. So I started experimenting like crazy. And that's technically what got me to where I am today. That was the moment that I said, I no longer have to go chase a job. I no longer have to worry about cold calling or worrying how I'm going to get a new client. And that has been the backbone of every company that we've grown since then.